Radio North Sea International's World Service. We broadcast in 31-meter band at 9935 kilohertz and to Europe in the 49-meter band at 6205 kilohertz. RNI's World Service originates from the radio ship Mebo 2, anchored in international waters 4 miles from the coast of Europe. This is RNI's World Service to the world with music.
This is Radio Nordsee International's World Service. We broadcast in the 31-meter band on 9935 kilohertz and to Europe in the 49-meter band on 6205 kilohertz. RNI's World Service originates from the radio ship Mebo 2, which is anchored in international waters 4 miles from the coast of Europe. This is RNI's World Service to the world with music.
That ship is the Mebo 2, better known as Radio North Sea International. She's moored some 9 miles off the Dutch coast and since last Saturday has been transmitting regular pop pirate broadcasts in English and German. The company that runs her is Swiss and the ship itself is serviced from Holland, so there's no direct connection with the British Isles.
But the British Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications sees the ship as an attempt to beat the legislation which put the other pirates off the air 2 years ago. The Council of Europe agreement made at that time can stop contact with pirate stations from countries who've ratified the agreement. Holland hasn't and doesn't plan to just yet. Much of the North Sea radio advertising is expected to come from Japan, and Britain could find that difficult to stop.
Broadcasting 5 miles off the coast of Holland from the motor vessel Mebo 2. This is the sound of Europe on 186 meters, Radio North Sea International. Music 19 hours a day, especially for you. Right now, though, I'd like to say hello to Mrs. Gloria Swallow up there in Ipswich in Suffolk. Very nice to hear from you.
So far, most of the advertising space is being given away. But on the Mebo 2, they're confident that this won't be so for long. Broadcasts are in English and German, and 4 of the disc jockeys are British. Under the 1967 Marine Offences Act, they could be imprisoned for 3 months on return to Britain. I asked Roger Day and Andy Archer why they joined the ship.
Well, basically because I'm a disc jockey, and on top of that because I want to work for a free radio station and not an establishment one.
What about you, Ron?
Well, I joined a station because I believe in their causes and I want to work for a commercial radio station. I believe working here will bring commercial radio in Europe, eventually.
But by working here, if you went back to Britain, you would stand to get 3 months imprisonment and or a £200 fine. Does this not worry you?
No, not at all. You don't get anywhere in this life if you don't take a risk or a gamble.
By pop pirate standards, Radio North Sea is luxurious. The backers claim to have spent £500,000 on setting up the station. It's managed by 2 electronic engineers from Switzerland, a country which hasn't ratified the Strasbourg Agreement either. They feel there's enough business from countries not involved in international agreements to keep them on the air, and they're ready to fight the British government in the courts if it tries to stop them. Radio North Sea expects to be in business for some time and hopes to induce the start of commercial radio in Britain. 3 miles away in the North Sea is a Dutch radio pirate. Since it started broadcasting several years ago, Dutch radio has brought in commercials. Jeffrey Archer, News at 10, off the Dutch coast.
U wordt vaak omschreven als een piratenzender. Voelt u zichzelf nou een zeerover?
Nee, helemaal niet. Het is een piratenzender. Wij zijn ja in grond genomen zijn we ja legaal. We verstoten ja eigenlijk geen wet. En daarom voelen wij ons hier als helemaal geen piratenzender, sondern gewoon als een offshore station.
Place that's gonna blow your mind. The place that's gonna blow your mind. The place that's gonna blow your mind. This is the sound of Radio North Sea. This is the sound of Radio North Sea.
U kunt hier zien wie man het elektromagnetische veld van onze antenne testen kan. Ik heb hier een TL-buis alleen, weil die sterkte van de zender zo'n onwaarschijnlijk grote veld entsteht, dass man das Gas, das in der Fluoreszenzlampe ist, gewoon zonder Spannung anzulegen, gewoon brandt.
Radio 220.
FM and shortwave. This is Music for Young Europe on Radio Nordsee International.
Yeah, man, it's that groove, you know, I mean, it's what's happening, man. Wow, man, wow. International.
The following is a statement as issued by the directors of Radio Nordsee International. Radio Nordsee moved to the frequency 1230 kilocycles, 244 meters, because this frequency does not cause any interference to emergency broadcasts or legally authorized stations. However, the British government has accused us of interfering with other stations, although no proof can be found of this, and certainly no complaint has been received by our offices in Zurich. We would remind the British government that all frequency infringement allegations must be investigated by the Inter-Telecommunications Union in Geneva. That's the body that controls all European frequencies and prevents nations having to handle complaints with other nations personally. This would have been the legal method of investigating the alleged interference rather than the chosen illegal jamming of Radio Nordsee, the cost of which the British taxpayer has to provide. No free Western country has ever jammed a free broadcasting station, even in times of war. Radio Nordsee trusts that the legal right we have to broadcast without interference to you will soon be restored. Radio Nordsee International intends to remain on the air.
RNR, where the music is used.
Like this sound that we're the only radio station that's playing? From the Beach Boys, add some music to your day. Nordsee Hitbound, that's Thelma Houston that time, who was Jim Webb's discovery, I think, Brooklyn Bridge. He does seem to change his artist, doesn't he? And that's called Crying in the Sunshine. Well, I should cry in the rain if I were you, they won't notice you're doing it. It's now 8 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. Oh.
Good morning, the world is bright and new. Tonight you're always right with Sound of Radio Nordsee.
Have to try and make you bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. It is a nice record to do it, actually.